Welcome back to the show. You're watching NHL Now as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month on the network. Tonight, the Capitals will celebrate Women in Hockey Night by wearing these special warm-up threads. Aren't they beautiful? They're going to be auctioned off to support the Women's Sports Foundation, which helps advance the lives of girls and women through sports and physical activity in the D.C. metro area. And to talk more about these jerseys, we welcome in Kimberly Sass, who actually helped design them. She is a former pro goaltender, current member of the PWHPA, and also, obviously, very clearly, a talented artist. Let's just show off this logo here for a second. Kim, thanks for joining the show. We appreciate you. You designed this, so I'm going to start with kind of give us a little background on the inspiration behind what's going on here.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, both of you. So I partnered with the Washington Capitals to design this special warm-up jersey to support gender equity. I started with a painting, actually, as my starting medium. So I created a reference painting titled Foundations for Change. And the concept is basically all of the buildings, the architectural landmarks throughout Washington, D.C., kind of paying tribute to all the buildings that Title IX has either moved through or currently lives in, like the National Archives Museum, which that was where we had the jersey unveiling, unique event to unveil this special jersey. So yeah, I created the painting, and then as you can see, the jersey here, it has the Roman numerals of Title IX woven into the W front crest.
Very cool.
So yeah, the players will wear Title IX proudly on their chests tonight during warm-ups. And so the buildings, the architectural landmarks are cropped and infilled into the W on the front, and the numbers on the back of the jersey.
Keep showing this off.
Yeah, wow, that's a really great design. I love it. Let me ask you, what does the 50th anniversary of Title IX mean to you? Because it was such a huge turning point, really, in the history of women's athletics at the college level.
Yeah, so without a doubt, Title IX has shaped my life, and I think I can speak for all the PWHPA players as well, all professional female hockey players' lives for the better here. So I think it's just opened so many doors, being a former college D1 athlete, a pro hockey player, a STEM professional and ambassador, and an entrepreneur with my art business. I guess I'm a living example of how Title IX has impacted females in sports and beyond.
I love that. You got a lot going on. It's very impressive. I'm going to go back to the jersey. We talked about the painting and how that inspired a lot of this. Outside of that, what went into designing the rest of the jersey?
So I started with the painting, and then once I had the idea for the painting in all of the buildings, I actually went to DC last summer to take the photos for to make the digital collage. From the digital collage, I made the painting, and then I started playing around with the alternate jersey with the W and the 3 stars, and just the, I guess, geometry of the Roman numerals. I was trying to fit that in because of, like you mentioned, the 50th anniversary this year, and decided to weave it into the front of the logo. So it worked out.
Now, you're a member of the PWHPA. I got a lot of letters there. which recently announced they'd be starting a new league next year. So let me ask you, what kind of issues is the league trying to address as we move forward with professional women's hockey?
Yeah, so I think the PWHPA their sole mission is to form a sustainable living wage league so that these female professional hockey players can solely focus on their hockey career, and they don't have to juggle additional careers to support their hockey career.
I'll follow up with this. If you could just look into a crystal ball and see, 5 years from now, like, where do you hope the women's game is then?
I hope the women's game is at a point in 5 years where females are able to come out of college hockey, go right into playing professionally without having to go to graduate school while starting to play professional hockey because they're unsure if the salaries are going to, get to a living wage before they retire and they have to prepare for what's after hockey. If they can transition from college to pro and have that be a sustainable living wage throughout their careers, I think we're going to be in a good spot.
Kimberly, you're so accomplished. Where did you begin, like, your hockey journey? Like, where did you grow up? How did you get into hockey? Were there other family members? I mean, I'm always curious about how people kind of find their way into it.
Sure. I grew up in East Amherst, New York, a suburb of Buffalo, New York. My father, Robert Sass, was a goaltender. And my sister and I both started, I was 5 and she was 7. We had started figure skating, and our dad kind of, I think, wanted us to play hockey. A local girls hockey coach approached my dad and asked if we both would want to switch to ice hockey. And of course, my dad was jumping at that idea, being a goalie himself. So my sister and I switched. And when I was, I think, about 7, I started officially playing ice hockey and actually loved the idea of putting on the pads right away. I think I was not so great at playing out is the real truth behind that. But my dad was my goalie coach, up until college. And then, of course, came to every single game at Colgate University. I played actually for a girls travel team, the Buffalo Bisons, as well as my Williamsville North junior varsity and varsity boys hockey teams in my public high school. They didn't have girls public school high school hockey when I was in high school. So,
well, hopefully that is changing.
Hope so.
As we move forward here, I'll follow up with one more. Like, who inspired you when you were a young girl putting on the pads? Like, who was your favorite player, male or female?
So, funny story, Dominic Hasek was my neighbor growing up. He lived in our neighborhood.
Oh my gosh. Why wasn't he your goalie coach? I mean, I guess he was busy.
I'm very busy. I cannot help everyone.
So Dom, yes, he was very busy. I was friends with his son, same age, Michael. Shout out. So I would say Dom and my dad actually
I love that
really
answer.
Inspired me, and everyone, wishes it was a female role model, but I'm actually thankful to all the males in my life, like growing up that, didn't see any boundaries to what females could accomplish. And honestly, it helped me growing up thinking that there were no limits to what I could achieve. So
you're literally, I'm like about to cry. You couldn't see it. I was like pump fisting in the air, fist pumping the air as you were speaking, because obviously, like, we're celebrating Women's History Month here, and I had to ask the same question, like, who inspired me growing up, and I didn't say a woman. I said my dad, because he was the one that made me feel like I had a place in the hockey conversation, and so that just struck a nerve with me. I might cry. I feel like we need to take commercial break, but it has been such a pleasure having you on the show. These jerseys look amazing. Huge thank you to you and the Capitals for sending me one. I'm going to show off, like it's got my name on it. Pretty excited about that.
Kimberly, I would love one of these jerseys. I mean, I'm just saying.
She can make it happen.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, please do. I would appreciate it, because they are beautiful. You did a wonderful job with them, so congratulations on that. And we'll see how the Caps look in them this evening.
And thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me. Go Caps.